Hi everyone, it's Claire from Scrappy Nerd UK, and today I have days 5 and 6 for my December daily mini-series. Excuse me, so I'm just working on day 5, and these are cards that I'd already prepared for when I did my foundation pages, and this glisten was already stuck down, so 5 and 6 for me, nothing really happened. Day 5, I was absolutely shattered because I didn't go to bed or sleep the night before. So I'd come home from work and I had taken a photograph of the new snowflake projector that we've got outside that goes onto the wall, and I was reading my Christmas ideas book that I bought in America a few years ago. So I just documented those couple of things. I actually fell asleep on the book, to be honest, before going to bed very early. I was shattered. So I'm just grabbing some strips of paper just to give some layers behind that photo. And I've cut the photo at an odd angle to not cover up any of that glisten that I had previously heat embossed and laid on that card. So I'm just creating a bit of interest behind the photograph on day 5, and then just popping that down on top of those layers. And I had to Frankenstein some of that paper because I didn't have a strip long enough. And I'm using a 6x6 pad, and I'm trying to use the scraps up that I've got. I don't have much of the full sheets of 6x6 left, to be honest, so trying to make do. And I'm just using some of these glittery snowflakes, these ones in silver that I was gifted, and these ones in white I had in my stash. And then I was also gifted some Christmas buttons, and there were a couple of snowflakes in there too, so I'll just cut the backs of these off and just stick those down with some glossy accents. And it does take a while for it to dry. Apologies, that's a train going past. And if you've seen any of my other videos before, then you have the joy of listening to the trains going past every few minutes. And just getting to work on this card here. And this is a photograph of a little tea-light candle holder, if that's what you want to call it. And again, I don't particularly have any stories to tell on this day, so just some photographs of some of the ornaments and the decorations that we've got around the house will fill this day up. And I wanted to layer that card with some other pattern paper, so I've just laid it at an odd angle just to create a little bit of interest, and that's pulling the light colour up from the bottom card up into the top one as well. And just mount my photograph on some vellum. And then I'd already created this, I'd heat embossed this. It was a blue silvery metallic piece of a die cut, and because I'm going with the gold, pink and gold and grey theme, then I'd already heat embossed this in a previous video, as well as that glisten that's on the bottom card. And you'll notice there actually on the bottom card I have used a mixture of gold and silver, and I do think it works really well. Not too worried about mixing gold and silver, as I know a lot of people are, but it can work. So I've just layered those on this card, and again at an odd angle just to create a bit of interest. Cut off the excess off the sides, and I'll do the same again with the 5, but not so much as you can't see what number it's meant to be. And the tiny word stickers are back out, and I'll just add one that says Winter Wonderland, I think it is, yep. And then the last thing I do to this card is these rose gold enamel dots, pearls, whatever you want to call them. Just add a little cluster of these at the top, and then that card is done. And as I said in previous videos, I will go back over with my gold Heidi shine to add a bit more interest as well. So I'm happy with that card. So in the pocket that one goes. And then next on to the one on the left. I'm just checking that's drying. And yeah, to the card on the left. So this is the book that I was reading that day, and it's called A Perfect Christmas. And yeah, I got this in Borders in America for $8, I think it was, and it's great for a bit of Christmas inspiration. Flicking through the recipes and all the ideas of DIY Christmas ornaments and baubles and decorations and all sorts. So this is the book that I fell asleep on. So it's not because it was uninteresting, it's because I was absolutely shattered. So I'm just using the washi tape trick that I've shown in a previous video, where I've created a flip up. I didn't want another pocket, but I wanted to add both of these photographs in, and because they are both of the book, then I thought it was perfect to do a flip up. And it also means that I can use the underside as a journaling spot as well. And this little sticker I've pulled up and I've put back down on a couple of photos, and I've just decided just to go ahead and use it on here because it was annoying me. And next I just grabbed some scraps of paper just to cover up the back of that photo, as it says Canon all over it. So just grab these two, and I'm going to use that gingham one as a space to put my journaling on, and just add a little wood veneer to the back of this as well. And that is quite a thin one, so it doesn't create too much bulk in the album. And another tiny word sticker. I did tell you I'm going to use all these little words, the tiny word stickers from this book. And I had a message from my mum the other day. Hi mum, if you're watching, saying, where did you get those word stickers from? So I've got her on the tiny word bandwagon. Now I initially start using my 0.1 fine liner pen, but it just, the writing was getting lost. So I switched to my black Flair pen and just pop that in the pocket, and that will lay down when it's in the album. And then just adding the bottom one in. Now those buttons are almost dry. And that is day 5 done. As I said, not much to document. Just a photograph of my my candle holder, photograph of the snowflake light from outside, and a photograph of the Christmas book that I'm reading. And this is day 6, and this was yesterday, and I was poorly all day yesterday and was indoors and had absolutely nothing to document. I mean, I'd sort of gone from bed to the sofa and was there all day. And so in the evening I gave the dogs their advent calendar and took that as an opportunity just to grab a snap for something to document on that day. And I think this is, I wanted to scrap this because the dogs don't quite understand that they only get one treat a day. So even after opening the box and giving them their treat for that day, they sort of sit there and wait for another one. Bless them. So just using some, that's a slick writer there, to do some squiggly border around the photograph. And you don't see it very well due to the light on here, but it's on there, and it just creates a bit more interest without adding any further embellishments. And I was just going to add on a couple more gold hearts, and I'll go with one in the end, to be honest, and I just staple it on. It does mean that there's a staple showing through on the other side, but I'll obviously find something to cover the back of this. And again, just pulling some of those enamel dots in. Not happy with that big one. And so lastly, just to get this into the album, just create some holes, taking that peg off, just create some holes using one of the other inserts. You'll see I need to cut a hole, but it's not going to be, it's going to be hanging off the edge, but it's fine. It's just so it'll fit in the album. And there we go. And then that fits in there nicely. So just pop the peg back on, and this is days 5 and 6 done. So very quick layout. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a close up. There we go. And day 6 is just that single photo out of a pocket. And yeah, just a bit more of a close up for you here. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.